Just wanted to take a moment and share this thought with Americans that are watching this video. I've been paying attention, obviously. Most of you know that I follow politics very closely, and I actually listen to and do my own research and find out real news. And I was reminded of something the other day. Now, for those of you who haven't seen this movie, it's not gonna. The impact won't be as powerful, but I'll lay it out for you. The movie Predator, Arnold Schwarzenegger did. It's about this alien being that comes to Earth and basically hunts people like we hunt, an animal. And there's a scene in the movie where he's talking to Carl Weathers, and they're basically, there's been people in his battalion that have been killed by this predator, and they're taking a stand. They're setting up some traps and trying to because otherwise they're going to all die anyway. And Carl Weathers is making fun of them for setting up these booby traps and everything like that. But Arnold prefaces this scene by saying, because Carl Weathers wants to get to the chopper and get out of there, and he says, Arnold Schwarzenegger says to Carl Weathers, he says, "We make a stand now, or there will be no one left to get to the chopper." And as I thought about that scene, I thought to myself, that is such an incredible correlation to what is going on in our country right now. Our country's been hijacked by globalist bankers. Our country is not the founding principles, the Constitution. This rule of law is not what's running this country. And if we don't take a stand now, not tomorrow, not a year from now, there's going to be no America left that we'll be able to recognize. Just like from that movie, there'll be no one left to make it to the chopper. Our country, as we know it, will cease to exist. We'll look like Greece or some other country, bankrupt by the people that have basically set up this economic collapse by design. And if anybody watching this thinking, well, that's just a conspiracy theory, do research. Stop watching the news. I don't care if it's Fox, CNN, NBC, MSNBC. You have to understand something. This is like, watching them is no different. If you want to have the same entertainment value of watching the so-called news, just watch the World Wrestling Federation. Because it's no different watching the WWE, okay? The good guys and the bad guys facing each other. And by the way, at the end of the night, they're all buddies and friends, and it's just a big play. It's the same thing that's going on in Washington. And if you have not figured out yet that there's not a dime's worth of difference between the Republican Party and the Democrat Party, there's a one-party system. They just go back and forth like the WWF, and they argue with each other, and they complain about each other. And if you had any doubt that the politicians in Washington, besides for people like Ron Paul and Rand Paul, and I'm trying to find other ones because I thought Senator Jim DeMint, I thought Senator Marco Rubio, who ran on this conservative constitutional principles, and then those two guys, along with Pat Toomey, signed the NDAA, which is the Patriot Act on steroids, stripping away civil liberties. Basically, allowing the federal government and the President of the United States to put people in prison without due process indefinitely if they're deemed a terrorist. And I would tell you something right now. Someone like myself that stands for this country, stands for the constitutional principles that it was founded upon, would absolutely be viewed that way. Because I'm a threat to the establishment, a threat to the status quo. I'm not willing to lie down and be a slave. I'm not willing to just let things happen to my children. Absolutely never over my dead body. And I'm putting this out there to you, and I hope I'm striking a chord emotionally. People are sitting there saying, I agree with this. This makes a lot of sense. This country is the greatest gift ever given to us by God through our founding fathers. And if we don't take a stand now, there will be no America left. We will not recognize what we have become. We must take a stand now. Do something. Get out there. Share information regarding Ron Paul. I mean, share information about these other candidates, Santorum, Romney, Gingrich. They're a joke. They're establishment mouthpieces. Do some research. Your own research. Listen to them in their own words. Romney and Gingrich and Santorum. And don't even get me started on Obama. If you guys haven't figured out yet, if you're still supporting Obama and you haven't figured out yet that you've been played like a fool, all you got to do is look at what he's doing. All you got to do is look. And by the way, just so you understand something, obviously I do not support Obama, but he did not start this mess. This mess has been going on for decades. He's just been like a human growth hormone injection into the problem. All right? So, guys, we must take a stand. This is going out to Americans, people who care about this country and want it restored to the greatness that it once was. Will you take a stand with me? Will you do something? Will you share information with your fellow Americans? Talk to the young generation, Generation Y. This is our future. We have got to do something. God bless us. God bless America. I just hope that this struck a chord, and it gives you a sense, just makes you want to do something, a call to action. We cannot sit on the sidelines. These people that are in control, the powers to be, they're not interested in money. They're interested in power. They're interested in domination. And once you understand that, and you get beyond, oh, there's corporate greed, it's the bankers' fault, it's the Republicans' fault, it's the Democrats' fault. It's the elitists that are stripping away the sovereignty of this nation, which ultimately strips away your own personal sovereignty. You've got to understand this. And if you don't understand this, you need to start doing some research. Understand that you're plugged into a system that is lying to you and stealing from you and cheating you every moment of the day, every day of your life. God bless.